Hi, Cindy.
Hi, Robin.
This is Cindy, and she's been working with plant medicines and supporting other people for a good 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
She had a deep dive with me last year.
Yes.
And I'd like for you to share your experience about what breath has done for you, how it's going to continue to support the path, and what you've noticed and the people you've been sharing it with.
I heard about Breathwave from another one of your students, apparently, who was in your first cohort here on Canadian soil. And he's a mentor in another medicine. And when I went to him, I said, I want to learn more about breath. And he said, you must go see Robin Clements. So I just said, okay, I'm going. This is my path. I'm going to trust the universe. I'm going to trust this information. And I came to see you knowing nothing about what was going on here. So I came in blind with other plant medicine training within Combo and Bufo and 5-MeO. And I came into Breathwave after sitting with many difficult medicines, thinking that, I've had my challenges and, I was open to them, and I always stepped up to the medicine, and the medicine was always so good to me. It allowed me to see what I needed to see and always brought me back to love. And I always walked that path as hard as it was with an open heart, without fear. And then I came to you and found out exactly how closed off I was. And I didn't realize I was that closed off. And 2 days after being at level 1, having to sit with myself 3 times a day, I was ready to leave. It was the most challenging thing I've ever done. I have sat with Iboga and had a 24-hour journey. I have sat with Combo and purged my little heart out. I have had Sananga dropped in my eyes and had them burning out of my head. And I never feared away from anything. When it was offered a second time, I went in and went, yes. And then I came to sitting with me. And that's who I was sitting with, was myself.
Thank you.
And it was myself sharing with myself and myself giving me my medicine. And it was the hardest thing I have ever done. There was twice that I just about walked away on the first week. And I'm so blessed that I didn't. Because it cracked me open. And it put me in a space to better hold space for others. So it hasn't just benefited me, it's benefited my practice. And I sit with breath every day. And last November, I reached out to you and I told you I had a very bad fall. And I had to cancel on a training. And my ribs were hairline fractured and bruised, as well as my entire left side. And the doctors were worried about my breathing. And I was like, no, I'm a breath worker. I breathe every day, and I don't care how much it hurts, I breathe. And it saved me, really, from any lung issues or my ribs healed faster. So on a personal level, this medicine of me that you have taught me how to use has been healing and life-changing for me. And I deal with, I serve one of the most powerful entheogens in the world, which is Bufo or 5-MeO. And it is a medicine of pure letting go into an ego dissolution. And a lot of people aren't prepared for that. And it's very hard to integrate things after 5, because a lot of the times with a true ego dissolution, you have no memory cognitively. So you have to worry about the muscle memory. The muscle memory will bring it back. And with Breathwave, that integration that it offers after the medicine is invaluable. It's now part of what I offer. If you come to me for 5-MeO, expect a breathing session ahead, expect a breathing session on the mat, and then we're going to do an integrative breathing session afterwards as well, because it's the perfect way to integrate what plants have shown us, or frogs or toads.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for sticking with yourself.
thank you for being there for me while I went through that most difficult time. It ended up to be one of the biggest blessings that I have had with medicines.
Thank you. Someone was here last week in this level 1 that we're currently coming out of last night, and in our giveaway, as you experienced, there's some deep acknowledgments, and when we share gifts with one another, and one of the sisters came and said, when I acknowledge this quality that you have of sitting with the shadow, and this is shadow work.
It is.
Right? We think of breath work as this, light, spiritual, all the fun stuff about our spirituality. And yet, like you said, we get to confront some of the things that we haven't looked at. And I find that if it's done in a gentle way, that it's a lot easier.
Yeah.
A lot of styles of breath work are shared in a much more motivated or aggressive approach to blasting our circuits open, and this gentle, soft approach to slowing down and gradually presencing and learning how to really calm ourselves to be with what is and get better at feeling is landing for people. And it's evolved into this over the course of many years, because I was taught with not the same quality of bedside manner that I have now. I was really taught to, turn the keys and push the buttons. And again, I want to thank you for that ability that we both had at the time that we met, for me to stick with you so you could stick with me, and ultimately we can stick with ourselves and fall back in love, accept ourselves, right? Because there's a lot that we've all been through that we place blame or shame or guilt on choices that we've made that have created some really difficult circumstances. There was a woman here last week who opened up and shared of some choices that she made it as a young woman, and their crazy times in Vegas, and she opened her heart in a session and realized that there was still some shame that was there for those choices at that time. And she came to realize on that day in that breath session that those choices and those challenges and that danger in her life was significant in shaping who she'd become to make better choices for the man that she's with now and the family that she has now, etc. But I feel like a lot of us keep beating ourselves up for the choices that we've made in the past, and where it's easy to numb and suppress those emotions of shame and guilt.
Yeah.
But when we can self-love and self-resource and empower ourselves to feel and move those old conditioned ideas, it gets a lot easier to be with life.
It does. Yeah. It something profound happened during my first level 2 with you. And then I went on to do peyote in a circle with you afterwards.
With
But
my elder,
with the second to last day of our level 2, and I might get emotional with this. I had an incredible healing moment that I found forgiveness for my biological brother who had molested and hurt me. And I found that forgiveness just in time, because he passed away 3 days later. And he passed away on the peyote day. And I don't think if I hadn't have found that forgiveness, I wouldn't have found the peace. I had to find forgiveness for him somehow. And I'm very blessed that I did, because I'm not sure how his death would have affected my world. Not that his death is about me, but because of the past, it has an effect. And it was really amazing to find that forgiveness through breath. And then when my dad told me that he had passed away, I had a really weird peace. And I wasn't sure if I should even go to peyote. And you said, oh, no, everything's aligned for a reason. You come, and we've got you. And I came, and Patrick was beside me, and Daniela was on the other side of me, and you were always like right there. And it was a very healing ceremony for me, and one that I had been searching for since I was 16, actually. And I'm 54 now, so that's been quite a while of searching for that ceremony. And I'm so blessed that you invited me. And yeah, so I mean, the breath gave me that ability. And I don't think if I to repeat myself, if I hadn't have done that day, if I hadn't have had that breakthrough, I'm not sure how I would have reacted to the news I got a few days later. So this has been an incredibly healing medicine for me. I've gone through, like I said, a number of medicines, and this is the only one that challenged me to a point where I wanted to run and just run. And I didn't. Something gave me the strength to stay and to take this medicine and offer it to people that come to me is just an incredible gift. I have a number of clients, and I've kind of weaved Breathwave into almost every medicine I serve somehow. And like I said, when it comes to Bufo 5, I bring it in before and during and after, and it's helped so many people open up. I had one client that watching her the first time I led her in breath, I watched a light start from here. And by the time we hit the hour, that was glowing to here. And I said, oh, here's Robin's number. You have to go to Breathwave. You have to. Like, I see that it's calling you.
She might have showed up last week.
She did show up last week. I was so happy. And yeah.
Well, I want to thank you for the vulnerability and the courage that you've shown me, that you just showed in this share, and what it takes, because no one else but you could find that forgiveness. No one could do that for you. And that's one of the beauties about this medicine, is it's not the medicine from a frog, right? It's the medicine that you are, that became the most profound thing and realization in your life, is that you are the medicine.
I am.
And sure, it takes a helping hand and some guidance to hold you accountable, to keep coming back to presence and coherence, to commit to your feeling nature. But you're the one that did that, right? That wasn't my agenda by any means. I was just a reflection and mirror there to keep weaving you back in.
It worked.
To be right here.
It worked. I had, the profound moment in level 1 when it was right after you had said, no, you got to do what you got to do, but I would like you to stay. And there was more of a conversation. So I stayed. And I think it was that evening where both you and your wife facilitated me at the same time. And with the energies coming in from each of you, I was able to release so much in that breath, and then invite in the love to replace what I released. And it was just, that was the moment my life changed with breath, was that moment right there. And I'll remember that moment with you in Eden for the rest of my life. Thank you. Thank you for your beautiful energy and your beautiful education, and giving me the chance to be me and open up.
Thank you, Cindy.
My honor, though. Thank you.
Looking forward to diving into another week with you.
Another one. Here we go.
There we go. Thanks for coming all the way from Nova Scotia.
Yes.
Thank you for sharing.